Welcome into Talking Fitchburg on this Thursday, September 9th, 2021. I'm Jeremy Crosby. Glad you're tuning in with us tonight for Talking Fitchburg. We have such a busy show for you today. We'll get you the latest headline. A lot of headlines going on here in Fitchburg today, so we'll get to that here in just a minute. We've got your construction update for you. Yes, we got Andrew McFadden here as we got a lot of different events happening, and not just the Ironman event. I mean, you've got construction closures on McCoy. You've got a lane change coming up on Hatchery Road, and we still got some closures of other projects going on. So we're gonna get the full breakdown here from Andrew coming up in our digest, and then we'll take a look back and preview this weekend's Fitchburg Bike Rodeo event that will be happening on Saturday. We'll have all of that for you coming up. Busy weekend, and tomorrow's shows, both the update and I'm just going to be talking about all these events happening this upcoming weekend. So a lot of stuff in the works, and that's where we start with our headlines for the day, an event that you want to get on the calendar, especially if you like pickleball. Yeah, ribbon cutting for the pickleball courts. We got the flyer. I want to make sure to show you this. The event will be held on September 10th from 6 to 7 p.m. at McGaw Park. That's where the new courts are located, and they are beautiful. We want to see you out there. And, of course, we'll be out there and bring you coverage of this event if you can't make it out there. But big official ribbon cutting special event there going to be happening coming up on September 21st. Also from the Recreation Department, fall soccer starts this Sunday, and they're saying you better RSVP like right now. Yeah, if you haven't signed up already and want to get signed up, you better do so ASAP. Yeah. Thanks to Sonic Sports Club for doing a great job coaching the older kids this year. It says here on the note. And you've got the ages, and all you got to do is go to the website, fitchburgwi.gov, click on Recreation, and you'll find the sign up to get enrolled. Pike Drive attempted homicide took place last night. We've got some information here around 8:50 p.m. Wednesday, September 8th. The Fitchburg officers responded to the 1900 block of Pike Drive for a call of multiple shots fired. A short time later, a car arrived at the Fitchburg Police Department with a passenger who had been shot. Officers rendered care to the 41-year-old male before he was transported to a local hospital by Fitchrona EMS with non-life-threatening injuries. Investigating officers located evidence of the shooting on the 1900 block of Pike Drive. The preliminary investigation revealed the victim was sitting in the passenger seat in a parked car when a suspect walked up and fired multiple rounds, striking the victim. The shooter is believed to have fled the area in a dark Dodge sedan. The attempted homicide investigation remains open with no arrests and no suspects identified to date. This appears to be a targeted act and is not believed to be a random incident. No additional information has been released at this time. Dane County Sheriff's Office and Town of Madison Police Department also responded and assisted with the incident. If you have any information regarding this, you're urged to call the Fitchburg Police Department 270-4300. Tipsters can remain anonymous by calling the Madison Crime Stoppers 266-6014 or visiting p3tips.com. All right, got a block party to tell you about coming up here in a few weeks. It's right on the edge here of Fitchburg. But basically, this block party is being put on by Luna's Groceries, which is right near Fitchburg here. It's kind of right on the borderline, but it says over the next 2 weeks, we'll be announcing all of our featured food vendors, arts and craft vendors, and service providers, along with the performing artists. So stay tuned. But you want to get this one on the calendar, September 25th. That block party will be happening right near here in Fitchburg, and that's Red Arrow Trail if you're interested in where that location is. All right, turning our attention to mental health and recognizing warning signs of suicide. Recognizing the warning signs of suicide. If you know someone who may be having thoughts of self-harm or suicide, learn how to help by going to samhsa.gov/suicide. This is an updated post here that was put out, but another helpful piece here of helping to prevent it. So talking about wanting to die or to be killed on self. These could be warning signs there. Talking about feeling hopelessness or having no reason to live. Talking about feeling trapped or in incredible pain. and talking about being a burden to others. Any of these things could be signs of suicide, and certainly there is a lot of help available out there. But even recognizing and offering help, you might not be able to talk about it, but offering a way to talk to somebody, you could call that phone number on the screen. All right, finally, signs of hail damage. We know hail passed through the area this past week with the severe thunderstorms passing Tuesday. And I came across this and I was like, hey, probably should share this. It's kind of interesting. So if you see any random damage that does not follow a pattern, it's probably hail. You've got bruising shingles or damaged ridge caps, and you can kind of see here on the picture. But if you're kind of curious about this, we'll share the link. This came from readywisconsin.gov, sharing this out, and from the was this the commissioner of insurance? Yeah, so pretty cool to learn about that if you are nervous that you maybe had some hail damage, so you want to talk with your insurance company as well. But for recognizing it, they give you some helpful tips there to start the I guess the research on whether it had damages or not. All right, that does it for our headlines. Coming up next, we're opening up our digest. We have your Fitchburg road construction update. That's next right here on Talking Fitchburg.
See on page 4 that the projections need to be flood next Thursday.
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day.
I have no time for this.
So,
I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
Type 2 diabetes can have a big impact on your life, but how can it be prevented? Well, the first step is knowing if you have prediabetes, a serious medical condition that puts you at high risk for type 2 diabetes. 1 in 3 American adults has prediabetes, but more than 80% don't know they have it. The good news is, prediabetes can be reversed, and for many people, healthy changes in their daily routine can make a big difference. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org.
If you love them enough to suck the snot out of their nose at 4 a.m., then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Joining me today from Public Works Department, our favorite engineer, Andrew McFadden. Andrew, welcome back to the show. How are you doing?
Pretty good. Hi, Jeremy. How you doing?
Doing well. Glad to have you on here. We'll get a construction update in. A lot of different projects going on right now. And I chuckle there because there's just it's switches, closures, work. It's just happening a little bit all over the place. So we'll start with Hatchery Road, and the signs are up for a traffic switch coming up. Tell us about this.
Yep. Yeah, and I feel like towards the latter half, the construction season, we usually get in this crunch time where a lot of jobs are wrapping up. This year being no exception. Yeah, I guess the big 2 changes coming up tomorrow, so Friday, would be we're switching over to the southern half of McKee, so basically the newly constructed portions of McKee and Caddis, and so. McKee, Caddis, it's pretty much the same thing. Just note that if you're driving there, you're going to be shifting over a little bit while we reconstruct the north half. But McKee gets a little bit trickier. I'll just really quickly show a graphic because it always helps me to walk through.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so you can kind of see here that the newly constructed lanes here will have live traffic on. And so if you're making this right turn movement here, you will be kind of on the new southbound lanes. So you'll be going through here. That's where the bus will go. They make this right turn and they'll be going in the bus pull out. And then you'll be kind of going down to 1 lane here and you'll have your 1 lane out. And so you'll be able to turn in there at Brendan, But if you're coming just southbound on Fish, then you'll still be kind of in, on this side, kind of where you're at now. And you'll be transitioning similar to what you're doing right now, but you won't be able to make that right turn into Brendan. So just kind of keep that in mind. If you need to get in there, you can always go further south and kind of turn right and then loop back. But Brendan won't be an option from going southbound on Fish. So.
Yeah, it's good to know. And then you got the trail, the pedestrian trail, or those trails changed a little bit there.
Yep, for sure. Yeah. So we were kind of, I guess this movement wasn't as comfortable. Now we're kind of bringing that back and people actually putting folks in what will be kind of the long-term crosswalk there. So we'll get striping out there. It'll look, somewhat like it will long-term, but, obviously some things will be in temp and kind of as we start to switch. But yeah, definitely we're starting to open it back up. You're starting to see more and more of what it's going to look like. And then we're really going to hit this north half hard coming up the next couple weeks. So.
Perfect. Yeah, no, glad you're able to show us that. That gives a better visual there of what's going on at the McKee intersection anyway. So we'll keep people up to date on that. Jumping over, well, actually, before we switch over, any other updates on Fish Hatchery Road as far as that project goes?
Those are really the big ones. You'll note, basically we're starting to get a lot of the curb and gutter work done. In the remaining week, we're going to be, installing some signal poles. Most of that work has been done. We're starting to energize our traffic signals and our street lights. Next week, we're going to be moving on to that north half of McKee. There's going to be some relocation work for the utilities. The week after that, we're going to be doing concrete on the north side of McKee, some fine grading up on the north half of Caddis, and then kind of prep for getting those last areas that you're still seeing open rock paved in the next month or so. So yeah, definitely a lot of exciting work. You'll note, we're really shooting for end of October, to get the majority of this done. So we're really going to be wrapping up a lot of things in the next couple of weeks. So I'm definitely excited about that. And we're still on schedule. So
that works. Yeah.
Yep.
We'll hope for the rain hold off here as we wrap up here for the fall. Transitioning over then to a closure on McCoy Road. We've got some work on the railroad crossing there. Tell us about this project.
Yeah, that's right. So the railroad's replacing their ties through that crossing, and that will be both the crossing of McCoy itself at the railroad tracks and at the Wisconsin Southern railroad tracks, and the adjacent Capital City Trail crossing there as well. And so they'll be closing all of that starting tomorrow through September 14th. So, please note, they'll certainly have signs out there. They already have some out there now, but note that there's not a lot of great detours, and they're trying to keep this as tight as possible and get the work done as quickly as possible. But I know it's going to inconvenience a lot of folks, but please just be mindful of that as you head out, certainly on the trail and also driving. We already have some other closures there from the bridge work for the ramps, that sort of thing. So there's a lot going on. In addition, just kind of segueing into the race. We do have the Ironman race on Saturday, and so there will be some additional kind of closures. We'll still have local traffic only for folks living up in that neck of the woods, off of McCoy. But by and large, kind of try to steer clear of that area. The race will come down cut over on Irish, and then go down Wayland, and then come back kind of Irish and up to And so there will be some delays in there. We'll be stopping folks, here and there to let some of the cyclists through. So just please be mindful. There's kind of a couple different projects going on in addition to the race. So a lot of kind of different closures. So keep your eyes out for the signage there and drive slow.
Yeah, it was planned ahead, so all of this is coordinated, like you had mentioned. So with the bridge work and the closure for the railroad stuff, that's still all planned as part of the routes and for Ironman, that is. And then finally wrap up on the work that's been going on South Sain Road that continues with the water main work.
Yeah, so the Mormon work's still working down its way down. They're North Irish still, but yeah, they're kind of in that area, and so they'll be continuing working south. But the Irish will still be open for this weekend, and then I'll note that the reconstruction work will kind of follow that, and so we'll start up at the Tarpley Hills neighborhood, and we're looking at starting to grind that on the 17th or so, kind of that Friday or the following week. So really, that's going to be when that neighborhood work starts getting going, and then we'll follow up with the signing work after that gets done. So yeah, so still kind of progressing, and then we'll try to get this all paved up before October 30th.
Well, that's a lot of updates right there, Andrew. I appreciate your time. If people want to find out more on any of the construction projects happening, where can they do that?
Yeah, definitely the website. We try to get the postings even on the front page when we have some of these big high level closures, and then also certainly the public works page, kind of diving down into the project. So and we're doing more with our VMS signs, so when you're driving out there you should see those, and just feel free to give us a call if you ever have any questions about that.
All right, Andrew, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it. Stay safe out there, and we'll check in with you real soon.
Yeah, thanks, Jeremy. You too.
You bet. Andrew McFadden from our Public Works Department, engineer. And again, check the website for the latest on the projects out there going on. Take a quick break. More to come. You're watching Talking Fitchburg.
Hey, boss. Okay.
Said I'm fine.
Put me to bed, see you in the morning. With the frosted Superman, but it wasn't on it. And we lost it. In my head, in my head, in my head. Where you at? Underlay, in my head.
Hey, son.
Hey, Bob.
You know you can talk to me.
Yeah.
We're all just trying to keep things running for those who rely on us.
Ready!
That's why we don't have time to be sick with the flu. And especially this year, no one has time to get sick. Get a flu shot for yourself and those around you too.
Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Joining you today from Bike Fitchburg. You'll recognize the face. You'll recognize the name. You might even recognize the event or events. Steve Arnold. Steve, welcome back to the show. How are you doing today?
Real good, Jeremy. Thank you for having me.
Hey, thanks for coming back in here. As a avid biker myself, 2 years running, I'm very pleased to have you on the show today to talk about all these fun biking things. Actually, I think I need to go to this bike rodeo that we're going to talk about. You have a lot of events coming up. So glad to see that the events are coming back. But people who are not familiar with Bike Fitchburg, who are you before we even get to the events? We got to know.
We are the local advocacy group for safe biking and walking and all transportation users here in Fitchburg. We lobby the city council and the mayor and their staff for what we feel are good and safe transportation policies, just like the Wisconsin Bike Fed does at the state level and the League of American Bicyclists does for the President's administration and Congress.
Perfect. Well, you guys do a lot of work there, but you also put on some events, some familiar events, and one of those is the bike rodeo.
Right.
And this is coming up on Saturday, September 11th. Tell us about the bike rodeo. What's going to be happening?
Well, we're glad to be back after the pandemic gap, and a bike rodeo is a bicycle safety skills workshop for kids. Now, that's not a very attractive description, so we call it a bike rodeo to get the kids all excited. But basically they go through, after registering, they go through a helmet check and a bike safety check. They may register their bikes if that's needed. And then they go through some skill stations to learn how to stop at the end of driveways and at stop signs, scanning left and right before proceeding, looking left before you turn or move left, and how to dodge around rocks and things like that. Then there's some put it all together stations where you can practice what you've learned, and finally a community bike ride where adults will lead the kids around the neighborhood past some interesting potential destinations that they might want to ride with their parents or alone if they're old enough.
That's one lucky part of Fitchburg is it doesn't take much for biking around here to get to a cool place.
Yep.
We're fortunate for that. For what skill set would this bike rodeo be? Because automatically I was like, well, this has got to be for beginners, right?
Well, it's for all ages of kids. Kids who are maybe, I know my own grandkids, they tend to hot dog on the paths, and that's not a safe thing because there's other people overtaking or passing in the other direction. So you take each kid, whether they're on training wheels or they've already running around, help them learn to go safer especially when they have to be around cars. So, and the other thing that happens at a bike rodeo is that the parents go through the stations with the kids, and so we teach the parents as well, because the kids are like, they're not going to learn it after one try, but the parents get the message and they can reinforce it when they take the kids out for practice rides, which is important before you go out biking alone as a kid.
Yeah, really important. And I would say you want to brush up on your, of anything, you want to brush up on your skills, and teaching your kids the right way to do something.
That's right.
A good way to do this. You are looking for volunteers as well to help out with this event.
Sure. We need lots of people to man these stations. There are, no experience is necessary, so we'll teach you the skill that you're teaching the kid if you don't already know exactly what to say. And we need about 20 or 30 people to help us run this effectively and safely. And so on our website, there is an announcement of the rodeo, and that has a volunteer sign up on Sign Up Genius. So that's the way to let us know that you'll be able to help us out for 2 or all 4 hours. It will be from 10 to 2 p.m. on September 11th. That's a Saturday morning, and there'll also be volunteer slots for tear down and fairly extensive setup. We have to draw a lot of lines in the parking lot with spray chalk and things like that.
Yeah, don't count me in for that. They wouldn't be very straight. I'm not a good painter, more visual guy than that. Anyway, not for me. Let's talk about date. Well, we already told you the date, but the time and location for this.
Yep. So this equity is important to Bike Fitchburg, and we try to run these events in neighborhoods where families may have less access to transportation, our transit rich neighborhoods. So this will be in the Jamestown neighborhood on the northwest side of Verona Road near Williamsburg Way at the New Fountains Apartments. New Fountains has some interior parking lots and a tennis court right in the center of the complex, and we'll be camped out there. The parking lot, that part of the parking lot will be closed, and you'll be able to see the pop-up tents as you go by on Anton Drive.
Perfect. Well, it's going to be a fun day. We'll hope for good weather and a good turnout for that event. That is kind of the prelude, as you told me recently, that to kind of Madison's Bike Week.
Sure.
And kind of a little different than the National Biking month.
Yep.
But tell us what that's about and how you guys tie yourselves into it.
Yeah, our peer organization, Madison Bikes, is organizing Madison Area Bike Week, and throughout the area where there'll be special events, things like commuter stations, end of week party at Brittingham Park, where Bike Fitchburg will be tabling. And Bike Week runs from Sunday the 12th through the following Saturday. So our bike rodeo is just the day before Bike Week, and we'll be on the Bike Week schedule, which you can see all the events at madisonbikes.org and click on the Bike Week calendar.
Perfect. Sounds like a fun week. I know there's a lot of activities that happen during the week, so you want to check out that for sure. Finally, a fundraising event for your organization, and I was calling it Meet Me at the Border because that's where I was thinking you would pick me up. But Pick Me Up at the Border is the event.
Sure.
It's happening on Friday, September 24th. Tell us about this fundraiser.
So we raise a few $100s each year to support our all-volunteer organization. We ask for a $15 donation online in advance. You can do it at your smartphone if you show up without registering. But that will be September 24th. It's kind of unique. It's a night ride on the Badger State Trail. Some you can go any distance and come back. Some will go all the way to the Illinois border and back from race day events on Sub-Zero Parkway. That's a 90-mile round trip. But others can turn around at Belleville or Monticello or Monroe so that you can take a ride of the length that's comfortable for you and your riding partners. It is a night ride, so we recommend lights, and it'll be held rain or shine, and we've had some rainy ones.
I wasn't going to mention that, but it is a rain or shine, and I can just remember an interview with you about talking about that specific year. But that's a different story. As far as you're going on the Badger State Trail, do you have to have the State Trail Pass?
Yes,
to go on there?
we do not enforce that. The DNR does, but of course you can get a day pass for $5. But anybody who lives in Fitchburg should buy the annual pass, which are required for the Military Ridge, the Badger, and the Cap City in Fitchburg. It's a tremendous investment, and all that money goes back into the trails.
Awesome. Well, Steve, a lot of fun events. Your organization doing a lot of great things. Tell us where people can learn more, sign up for these events, or even follow what's going on.
So bikefitchburg.org is our website, and Bike Fitchburg is our Twitter and Instagram and Facebook feeds. We invite you to like our page and follow our feeds, and to join the Bike Fitchburg Forum, which is a discussion group. We talk about policies and facilities and incidents and programs and events within Fitchburg. Bike Fitchburg tries to keep the biking public informed about closures, events, and new facilities, and sometimes we'll have action items where we want you to contact your alder or the mayor to make the right choice for safety for bicyclists and those who walk and take transit and drive in Fitchburg.
Perfect. Well, Steve, thank you so much for your time. Stay safe out there, and hopefully I'll see you at the pick me up at the border event coming up on the 24th.
Very good. Thanks,
right.
Jeremy, for having me.
No problem. Bike Fitchburg, check out their website to get signed up for all these great events and stay up to date on the biking world. Take a quick break. More to come. You're watching Talking Fitchburg.
You could be spreading the coronavirus without realizing you have it. So follow guidance from authorities where you live and do your part. It's important to limit in-person interaction with anyone outside of your immediate household. But phone and video chat are safe ways to connect. It's also important to limit any social gathering. This advice applies to people of any age, including teens and younger adults. Visit coronavirus.gov for the latest information.
After you joined our family, it was like, I really do feel complete now.
We're all just trying to keep things running for those who rely on us. That's why we don't have time to be sick with the flu.
We don't have time for delays.
We don't have time for spills.
Next.
We don't have time for setbacks. Let's be real.
Getting the flu shot
helps you fight the flu.
Get a flu shot for yourself and those around you too.
Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Wrapping up the show for the day. I want to thank our guests, Andrew McFadden, for joining us, and Steve from Bike Fitchburg helping us out with their upcoming events. And hopefully you can make it out to the bike rodeo this weekend. It should be a lot of fun. Looks like the weather's going to be good for all the upcoming weekend events. All right, as we wrap up, remember you can stay connected with Fact TV. When I'm not here talking, you go there. You can enjoy all of the great stuff that are going on there. Kind of made sense, right?